Last month, I worked maybe 30 hours the entire month and I made $9,370 in passive sales from my digital products. And this doesn't even include the promotion that I did at the beginning of the month. So how did I do it? Well, I'm gonna be sharing with you my one simple strategy that made this all possible during my notoriously slowest month of the year and how you can do it too. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a college dropout with just 81 cents to my name, and I leveraged that into a multiple six-figure per year photography studio. Then I started making content for other photographers and I turned that into a $2 million per year online education business. And now I help content creators just like you to monetize your following with digital info products so you can help your followers on a deeper level and make a full-time living doing what you love. Okay, so at the beginning of last month, I did a 3-day promotion for my brand new ebook 15-day digital product, which I have talked about in a lot of my previous videos if you want to check that out. And that promotion went super well. I did $2,727 in about 3 days. The promotion was 3 days, and then it took me about 10 hours to actually create the actual ebook. And last month was July at the time that I'm recording this video. And I don't know about you, but July is always like a really, really hectic month for us. So not only did I do this little promotion, but we had our wedding anniversary. It was my birthday. It was like several family members' birthdays, friends' birthdays. We had travel plans. We actually ended up also purchasing a home in July. So there was literally so many different things going on behind the scenes. So knowing that that was a pretty busy month, I decided to just sort of take that month for my life, so to speak. So I kind of made a deal with myself that I was just going to put all of my time and efforts with the business into YouTube. And I just sort of let all the other projects fall to the side. I will get to them in the fall, but I just decided for my mental health and to enjoy the rest of summer. So I just decided to focus on all the personal things we had going on, but of course not letting YouTube fall to the side because that is my source for traffic. But I knew that I have built up really, really strong email sequences to nurture and to continue to make sales with my audience. So I was like, this is it. I'm gonna like fully trust myself for over a month and not do anything else in the business except for YouTube, and we'll see how this goes. And even though I've been doing this for a really long time, and I have certainly done months before where I just focus on content creation and I let my sales systems do all the selling, sometimes I still get in my head and that mindset still kicks in. Like, if you're not directly trading your time for money, you're not gonna make sales. Like, passive sales won't come if you're not working. I don't know if any of you guys have felt that way, but I definitely still feel that way, even almost a decade into running my online business. But again, I knew that I had built a solid foundation and that I deserved some time for a little bit of rest and to focus on my personal life, and that it was okay and sales would still come in and my followers would still get nurtured with content and emails and all the automations were set up and it was going to be fine. Well, turns out not only was it fine, but I was able to bring in $9,370 while working only about 30 hours the entire month, including that promotion. And those sales, the $9,370 was not including the promotion. So those were just the sales that I was making while I was out having dinner for my birthday with my friends, while I was out celebrating with my family, while Aaron and I celebrated our wedding anniversary, while we were house hunting and purchasing a home. And I gotta tell you, I don't know that there's anything better than making automated sales while you're home shopping because that really makes the large purchase feel a lot better. Okay, so now you might be wondering, that's awesome for you, Molly. Super excited for you, but how can I do it? And I'm excited to share with you my 3-part framework on how you can do exactly what I did to bring in passive sales, even when you're working a minimal amount of hours per month. Okay, so part 1 of this 3-part framework is, of course, traffic. Part 2 of this 3-part framework is freebies and your email list. And part 3 of this 3-part framework is your automated email sequence. And if you're watching this and you're like, okay, Molly, I get it. Building an email list sounds pretty important, but you haven't grown one yet or you want to grow yours further, well, go ahead and check out the free download in my description below so that you can get a free done for you funnel to move your followers to email subscribers. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain the 3 parts of the framework, and part number 1 is, of course, traffic. So how did I go about building traffic? There's so many different ways you can do this. With my very first online education business, I built my following through blogging. But with this current business, I have built my following through YouTube. So really, it's totally up to you. You can do blogging, you can do podcasting, you can do YouTube. I do always recommend starting with a long form platform because let's say you start with a video podcast. Now you have a podcast, you have potentially a YouTube channel, you You have potentially clips for TikTok and Instagram. So you can cover a lot of ground just by starting with one long form platform. And of course, you don't need to start out repurposing everything, but it's really great to start with long form because then eventually you can spread across the other platforms more easily. So I started out with YouTube. I started consistently making one video every single week. And I recently made a whole video about all of my strategies that are currently working for YouTube. And what I've always done since day one is I always promote a freebie or a couple freebies throughout my videos, just like I just did, so that you can go and get a freebie in the description below. And then that gives you the freebie. And it also gets you on my email list, which gives you more nurturing, helpful content. And it also invites you to join some of my programs that might be a fit for you. So not only is it important to actually start building a following and have consistent traffic, but it's incredibly important to also mention at least one freebie during every single video so that you are building your email list and your following at the same time. And you don't have to wait until your following reaches a certain number. In fact, I highly recommend building your email list and your following together from day one. And of course, if you've already built a following and you can do your email list now, it's okay. But if you have the opportunity to, start building them both right away. Okay, so the second part of the framework is freebies and your email list, which I already kind of talked about, but essentially in every single piece of content, I'm mentioning freebies where people put in their name and email and then they get the download of the freebie and they also get on my email list. So this is how you're starting with traffic, then you're moving people to your email list. And then part 3 of the framework is the automated email sequence. So I personally use System.io for this, and there is a link below to a completely free account for you to set up your own account with System for free if you're interested. And I use System for all of my automated email sequences. In fact, I use it for literally everything in my business. But for my email sequences, it makes it so easy for you to be able to create, say, a welcome email sequence. Then once they've gone through that, then you can send them to maybe a nurture email sequence. Then once they've gone through that, maybe you send them through an automated promotional sequence. So what a sequence is it's simply just a series of emails that people are getting. So for example, when you get on my email list, the first thing you're going to get is my welcome series. This is 1 email a day for just 5 days. Then there's a little bit of a break, and then you go into my nurture sequence, which is 1 to 2 emails every week for a month. So you're getting about 4 to 8 emails over the course of an entire month. Then it usually goes into a promotion for one of my products. So an invitation to see if it's a good fit for you to get further help with one of my products. Then we go back into a nurturing email sequence. Now, I know this can sound like a lot, and that's why I teach this in depth in my program Freedom Creator Club, but either way, you don't have to build this all at once. You can start out with just a welcome sequence. Then once you have that built, then you can add on another sequence. Then when you have that built, you can add on another. I'm still adding to my email sequence all the time. It's never something that's ever going to be totally complete because you can always go back and improve it from time to time as well. So again, how I made $9,370 last month in passive income sales alone came down to 3 things. And those 3 things were traffic, building your email list, and having an automated email sequence. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead, give it a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell because I put out videos like this 1 to 2 times every single week. And now that you know my one simple strategy that brought me $9,370 last month in passive sales alone, you might be wondering, that's awesome, but how do I create my own digital product? And how do I make sure that it's one that's going to sell? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be so much more powerful. See you in the next video.